Welcome back, guys, to another On the Road with me, Jack. I've got our MD, Chris, here. Thanks for coming on, Chris, and featuring with the On the Road.
Jack, I thought you'd never invite me, so appreciate it.
That time, right?
Indeed.
So today, guys, I want to take you to a new development and a city that we haven't actually been to just yet either. Now, every year we get that sort of one standout project which just sort of stands above the rest, and this is it, guys. So I'm going to hand you over to Chris to sort of tell us a little bit about why we feel this project's so good. So, yeah, over to you, Chris.
Yeah, cheers, Jack. I think first and foremost is prosperity. As a developer, what they've done in the past, they've done stuff on time every time, great quality as well, so that's really exciting. But also, let's be realistic, is the deposit that you have to put down. Whereas some developers are asking for 25% and it's not completed for a few years, these guys are asking for what, 5% down? Yep. So on a £200,000 property, which they are, you're looking at £10,000 down.
Yep.
Payment over a couple of years, so what, £2,000 a month. So first of all, that gives people who don't have the full funds a chance to save and make regular payments. Secondly, it means you don't need a mortgage now, which is key, right? 6-7%.
Massive plus point.
Exactly. 6-7% mortgage rates means that they don't have to secure that mortgage now. But what you are securing is the price. So you're securing the price point because, you know, in general, prices go up. Regardless of what we've seen, you know, COVID, they went up 10%, and we've seen 3-4% dips over the last 6 months. But the general rule of the property market is over a medium to longer term, they go up. So people can secure their prices now, pay it off over a period of time. And you know what? That's what I really like about the developer and this development in particular.
Perfect. And in terms of Birmingham, like we've obviously spoke a lot in the past about Manchester and why we feel Manchester's so great, but the reality is there's always been that constant competition of what's better, Manchester or Birmingham, what's the second city. So why Birmingham? Why do you feel Birmingham is such a great city?
Do you know what? I've always actually preferred Manchester initially. You know, I've been doing this for nearly 20 years now, and the last decade, it's all been Manchester.
Yep.
Why? Well, you've got the Canary Wharf of the North, which is kind of media city. Universities have gone up there, the BBC, major companies, ITV, and everyone's up in Manchester. So it was great. I remember 10 years ago getting buy-to-lets up there for like 80,000 for a one bed. I mean, you know, long gone are those days. You're now talking about 200 for the same one beds in the same area. So the reality is Manchester was always number one. But Birmingham's always been there. It's been plugging away, and now I look at more in detail in Birmingham. I think it's the way to go. I see Birmingham doing fantastically well.
Yep.
You know what we got there. We've got two major football clubs: Birmingham City, Aston Villa.
Yep.
You've got great museums, Sea Life Centre. You've got Edgbaston Cricket Ground where they played the first Ashes recently, and of course you've got stuff for everyone, stuff for the kids. We've got high-end areas as well, the Jewellery Quarter, and of course you've got HS2 going in there, which is going to cut train times down to circa 50 minutes or so. So again, makes it commutable to London. So I personally think Birmingham's a great city, and I think, like I said, it's got something for everyone. Only recently I was there on a night out on the Saturday, and the next day walking down the canal having a Sunday roast. So to me, it's a great city, and with the prices where they are, yeah, I think it's a fantastic buy.
Perfect. And guys, this area that I'm going to sort of take you to today is a £2 billion regeneration area. So this is going to obviously only ensure you great growth over time. So what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to take you up to see the actual sort of developer, see the site in terms of where it's going, show you some of their previous projects. But before I get to that, I'm going to hand you over to Oliver, who is sort of the face of prosperity, so to speak. So Oliver, over to you.
Enjoy.
Thanks Chris, thanks Jack. Yes, so Prosperity Wealth, we're a Birmingham-based developer. We have projects from as low down as Southend-on-Sea to as far north as Halifax. The main cluster of our projects are within the Midlands and focusing on Birmingham city centre. We've done over 40 projects and delivered about 4,500 homes across the UK. The main focus of our projects are in Birmingham, and that's one, because geographically where we're located, and two, we know the area extremely well. So we've been able to purchase land at really good prices and be able to get that over to our clients. One of our unique features is our payment plan. Clients can pay a 5% reservation deposit and then the remaining balance of their deposit over the build term in equal monthly instalments, meaning you can secure something today at today's price, drip feed into your deposit over the next coming years, see that making capital appreciation, and then not have to mortgage or complete it until completion, which in this case would be 2.5 years. So Jack, look forward to seeing you out on site today. Cheers, bye.
So we're now on site, just after grabbing a quick coffee, and yeah, we're now at the Smithfield Regeneration area. So as you can see, it's a pretty sort of empty land at the moment, but I'm hoping, or Oliver, I'm counting on Oliver, giving us a bit more insight as to exactly what's going on here. So
yeah.
Over to you, mate. Tell us a bit about what's going on.
So this part of Birmingham was the original Birmingham city centre years and years ago. They grew the markets here, and the rest of the city expanded from there onwards. Since then, it's kind of been a bit dated, and this part of the city is probably one of the last places now to be gentrified. If you look around, there's a lot of 1970s buildings that do need changing. So the Birmingham City Council had a master plan with this area, and it's worth about £2 billion of regeneration. So this whole site behind us is going to go and see a world of difference now. So you've got new squares, new bars, new restaurants, new shops, green spaces. Just literally 2 seconds away over there, you've got the HS2 site, so the new Curzon Street station.
And how far a walk is that, Oliver?
Less than 5 minutes. I'm going to say between 3 and 5 minutes.
Okay.
For an average person. I think we could probably do it in a couple.
Yeah, especially these.
Yeah. Yeah. And then obviously you've got Selfridges there, so you've got the famous Selfridges wall, you've got the church and the Bullring shopping centre.
Right.
And then if we look down, you've got Digbeth out that way, and then you've got the Chinese Quarter, the Gay Quarter over there. So there's a whole kind of bright and vibrant area to build upon. This site was used for the Commonwealth Games, for example, so they built all of the volleyball pitches here. So it's an absolutely huge site, and it's just waiting for this kind of generation to start.
Yeah, and in terms of how long it's going to take for this to really take shape, like I've seen a lot of projects like your media cities. We've got obviously Liverpool's in Liverpool,
yeah,
and this is kind of Birmingham's version of that.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, even looking at Canary Wharf there's a massive example of that. You look at that years ago, it was just a brownfield site, wasn't it? So then you look at it now, it's vast. It's going to be a really, really key part of Birmingham.
And I think for me, that's the growth story here, right? In terms of prices in here are going to start from
19995,
and in terms of the value that's going to increase,
it's going to be massive. It's absolutely huge, and you kind of look and imagine what this is now and what this is going to be in 10 years. It's going to be a world apart.
I think that's one of the key things for me, guys. I've just had a little walk around how big an area this is, and this video is probably not going to put it into real perspective, let's be honest. But it is a massive regeneration project. And as I said, that's only going to in turn push your prices up. And from a tenant's perspective, I mean, it's centrally located, right?
Oh, it's ideal. Selfridges is there, 2 minutes away. Curzon Street, 2 minutes away. Bullring, 2 minutes away. You've got everything within a couple of minute walk. It's absolutely ideal.
So I think despite, guys, that long-term plan, there's also massive reason for people want to live here now.
Huge. And you look at the big companies that are here now, HSBC, Deloitte, Deutsche Bank, PwC, Goldman Sachs. Think of all these companies that are relocating here, that are bringing staff. There's thousands and thousands of members of staff being brought to Birmingham constantly. They're looking at rates. They're much cheaper here at the moment. So your rental for their office space is cheaper. Your wages are generally cheaper than London as well. So that's going to keep attracting big businesses. The retention rates within the 5 universities across Birmingham is huge, so the talent pool's already here, so they can move the firms here, move the headquarters here, attract the staff. It's a win-win.
Perfect. And in terms of your site, in terms of where it's located, obviously, as I said, it's quite vast, and we can pinpoint it more on a map for you. But you're towards the back of the site?
Just down the bottom here, so just down the back, just down there, that's where our site is.
And that's going to have views across?
Yeah, so there'll be a tower, and then there'll be a square, and that's going to be able to view back into the city. You're going to be able to view out. I mean, realistically, you've got Edgbaston Cricket Ground out that way. We're going to have amazing views whichever way you're looking.
Perfect. Well, hopefully, guys said it might not do it justice, but look, we can obviously go into a bit more detail. And as I said, we've also got an event that you guys are holding on the 3rd of August.
Absolutely.
You're more than welcome to come along, actually sort of meet these guys, meet Oliver in person, meet the whole team behind Prosperity. And again, that will give you a much better idea as to these guys, the actual scheme itself as well. But yeah, look, hopefully that's given you a rough idea as to what this project is going to bring. And really appreciate Oliver showing us down here. We're now going to take you across to another development you guys have done that's under construction.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then sort of see other projects that you guys have obviously got coming up.
Cool.
So yeah, let's head off. So we're just walking past, guys, and I thought I'd just sort of run you past one of Prosperity's other developments. This building behind me is one that they completed on last year. This development called Seven House. As you can see, all built, all fully sort of tenanted and stuff like that. So this gives you again another insight into other projects that they've done. But let's head on. So we're now here at one of the Prosperity's other sites, as you can see, that's currently under construction. So yeah, Oliver, tell us a bit about this particular site in terms of where it's located and yeah, obviously how far along the build we are.
Yeah, absolutely. So this project is coming now to the end of its build program. So it's going to be completing at the beginning part of next year. So clients would have invested kind of 18 months ago in the project, been paying their monthly instalments throughout the build term, and then what they'll then do is now start preparing for the completion, which we can help with internally with mortgages, lettings management, and they can start preparing for that now.
Perfect. And in terms of, obviously this is slightly different located to where we just was, right? So this is Jewellery Quarter, this particular project, not far from your offices.
Absolutely, yes. So if you just go back to where we were earlier on with our offices, it's kind of on that side of the city. So it's the north side of the city. Our offices are 2 minutes down the road, just in the middle, and then the newer development will be coming on the south side of the city as well.
So as this sort of finishes this particular project, that will obviously then kickstart obviously everything, the Prosperity Group go over to Smithfield, right?
So look, we've got the Prosperity Group over a few projects across the city as it is.
Yep.
So that the finish on this won't delay the start on that or anything. But once this team is done, we will obviously be moving them around different projects across the city.
Perfect. Well guys, that gives you obviously a good idea in terms of obviously other projects that's currently under construction. As you can see, this is well on track, and I said, as Oliver mentioned, this is due to finish next year. And yeah, obviously we'll get back up, give you guys an idea as to the finish once this one's done. You've obviously also seen a few others that we'll have in passing, or that we're going to pass throughout the video that are obviously up and running and people are living as we speak. So yeah, this gives us a good idea into insight as to what the construction phase and how you guys deliver on your promises.
Awesome.
But yeah, that's about it, guys, in terms of with Oliver. Oliver, thanks for coming along today, mate. It's been much appreciated, and hopefully guys it's given you a good insight. Now back at New Street Station, just going to take the journey back to London, which is, as I said, just over an hour. But just in a nutshell, guys, as to this project, it's a £2 billion regeneration area. The video and what you've seen probably doesn't do it justice how good a scheme this is going to be. We've got prices from only $199,995. We've got returns of over 8%, and the key part, as I said, you can spread that deposit over the next 30 months. You only need in the region of 10,000 now, and then that small monthly payment. So no big commitments, which is obviously what we all want now. And yeah, as I said, hopefully this video has given you a good insight as to the area, the developer, and yeah, I really stress getting on a call with your broker, discussing this more, and we can really home in on a bit more about what's going on in the local area, because it's really one not to be missed. But as always, it's a pleasure taking these journeys with you. Please like and subscribe, and I look forward to taking on the next journey soon. Speak soon.